Hello and welcome back to Asia Now. In this video, I'll give you more updates on Elliot Eastman's situation as 3 men involved in Elliot Eastman's kidnapping perish in a toe-to-toe with the police. Drunk foreigner man enters woman's car. Foreign pickpocketers arrested in Thailand. And Duterte faces the House, Senate, and more. Let's jump straight into our main story. Now, yesterday I gave you guys some of the latest on Elliot Eastman's case. And while I was making that story, there were some rumors going around that people have found him and the fact that he was really malnourished and everything, but seems like half that story was true. That's why it's very important for you guys to wait a little bit before we make any decisive, come to conclusions, basically because the source wasn't very credible. But here's what happened in the latest update on his case. On November 12th, soldiers, police, and a group of men went toe-to-toe on the border of Naga and Kabasalan towns in Zamboanga, Sibugay, which led to the perishing of 3 local militants, Abdul Jain Sahibad, his brother Fahad, and Mursid Ansau Ahad. Sabihad was implicated in the October 17th abduction of American national Elliot Eastman in Zamboanga del Norte. The clash occurred after armed men fired on security forces investigating reports of their presence in Barangay Kanakan. Following the incident, the mayor of the Naga suspended classes in the area due to the fears of further retaliation. Security forces reported by the local residents successfully neutralized the people, and though 4 others were injured and managed to escape. A joint police and military operation is ongoing to track the remaining suspects. Once again, the reporter was very clear to say there was no signs of Elliot Eastman, and just one of the people were implicated in that situation. Although there really seemed to be cornering whoever's involved, just less and less chances of Mr. Elliot Eastman being found alive, unfortunately, just because if you're willing to put your life on the line, it just doesn't make any sense, right? I don't know. I'm just really hope that I'm wrong, but it doesn't seem very positive at the moment. So that's the latest. No, he has not been found. He is not safe yet. I'm not sure why people go around making these videos claiming that you can't just make a video based on the first rumor you hear. And if you do, you got to be very clear to make it seem, or at least let people know, that these are just initial reportings. Nothing's confirmed yet. But as of right now, Elliot Eastman has not been found, and 1 person implicated in the case is no longer alive. So they're chasing the other 4 people. Hopefully those people run to Elliot and they catch them, but let's see what happens in the future. Staying in the Philippines, President Bongbong Marcos is optimistic about the unshakable alliance between the Philippines and the U.S. under the administration of President-elect Donald Trump. And this was, of course, I mentioned this last week, but Trump gives Musk government post. So Elon Musk will now lead the new U.S. government efficiency group tasked with cutting federal waste, and the Republican president-elect added a series of seasoned figures and hardliners to his incoming administration. Yeah, although not very Asia news, but I know a lot of Americans do live in Asia, Philippines, Thailand, and neighboring countries, and I think it's very important to keep an eye on what's going on there in the U.S., as it definitely directly affects a lot of us, as well as just secondary effects of this. Elon Musk taking over some parts of the government, ensuring to cut some fat there. I mean, they can't do a worse job than whatever administration was before them, even for my own country. So I'm curious to see if they're actually going to save some money with Elon Musk in political position. Strange, right? Everything leads to politics. And then, staying in Manila, the Philippines' former president Rodrigo Duterte on Wednesday asked the International Criminal Court, the ICC, to hurry up with its investigation on the drug war. Yeah, so I guess Duterte is like, yo, what's going on? Let's get this going, man. Am I guilty or not? Because the ICC is investigating him for crimes against humanity and such. Of course, with those severe allegations, and I'm sure... Yeah, so I'm going to leave it at that. Duterte is like, let's get this going, man. What are we doing? Am I guilty or not? And he's facing the House and trying to answer some questions regarding his actions while he was in administration. A couple of weeks ago, I covered him actually saying he had all these things in place. He admitted to a lot of things, but I'm not really sure if you can hold any of that against him in a case in court of law. It's one thing to say something, but it's another thing to prove something, right? So there's a big difference there. But let's see what happens with that case as well. And then I was waiting to find a story to cover this video a little bit. I'm not going to say anything because I want to go back to Cebu, but the police will continue to protect Cebu City Hall from any potential disruptions following reports that dismissed Mayor Michael Rama has sent a letter to the ombudsman stating that his 6-month suspension has ended and that he intended to return to work. I'm not going to read all that. I was actually going to read the article, but basically this Roselle character actually worked for the city hall, but he thought although the suspension was ended, his job was still in place. People said, no, it's not. The police came and tried to take him, and all that took place. So imagine wanting your job so bad that you're resisting arrest to that degree. I don't know where the legal standing is about these kinds of situations because the city hall is a public place. However, I think when he resisted, according to the article, the arrest, that's when the police had the right to take him down. A lot of times the notifications don't get passed along. Even when I was there in 2019, 2020, 2021, things will kick into effect, but we were not getting notice until days after, basically, right? When it came to the whole pandemic and lockdowns and all that. So these people may simply just not hear that their jobs are either there still or not there at all. Let's head on over to Thailand. Drunk foreigner shocks Phuket woman by entering her car. In a shocking incident in Phuket, a drunk foreign man entered a local woman's unlocked car as she returned from shopping. The woman's boyfriend shared the story online to warn others. The foreigner allegedly smelled of grass and refused to leave until police intervened. Although nothing happened, it's important to remember to lock your car doors, especially if you're a woman, especially if you're doing any kind of banking. This guy must have been like way up in the clouds and thought he was in his own car or something and did not want to budge until the police came in. Next up, 2 Mongolian nationals were arrested in Bangkok for allegedly pickpocketing tourists in Sukhumvit area after tourists reported her purse stolen. Police reviewed CCTV footage and set up surveillance to identify the apprehended suspects. The men, who frequently changed addresses to avoid detection, now face charges for nighttime theft with potential prison sentence and fines. Authorities continue to search for a third suspect and urge caution in busy tourist areas. You already got to watch out for pickpocketers of the local nature. Now you got to watch out for other country coming into that country to pick your pockets. And lastly, in Bangkok, Bangkok's notorious traffic may soon see some relief as the city plans to introduce a congestion charge similar to successful models in London and Singapore. Funds from this charge will improve public transit infrastructure, potentially allowing 20 baht flat fare for electric trains. This initiative, supported 60% of residents, aims to reduce gridlock, cut pollution, and make commuting more affordable. Bangkok's transport ministry has enlisted expertise from the British government to develop a tailored solution for Thailand's capital. That's amazing. Bangkok is one of the most busiest cities in the world when it comes to traffic. So anything they can do to reduce some of that is welcome by me. And now it's time for our segment Yesterday Today, where I read some of the most popular comments regarding our previous video. Pinoy Zo 1 says, expired visa and attempting to stay is a crime. You went over your limit being stationed in country. They deserve to get charges and deported. Either renew your visa before expiration or get back to country. It's not rocket science. I agree with the deportation. Same goes with expats overstaying in the Philippines. I don't know what you mean about you, but I'm assuming you're talking about Filipinos in the US. Yes, I think everybody should be staying in any country legally. Ian says, I've been working on my Filipinos visa for 1.5 years, and it's humiliating to see Filipinos jump the line when I have to work so hard. If I did that in the Philippines, I'd end up in a BI detention center before deportation, guaranteed. And lastly, Scamper Steven says, immigration must be done correctly, even if they are being exploited for their cheap labor. In Australia, if your employees don't have working visas, etc., the company gets nailed as well, plus heavy fines. The immigrants are entitled to the same wages as Australian workers doing the same job. Fair enough, I say. And that's it for this video. If you guys enjoyed it, take a second out of your day, hit that subscribe button if you haven't done so yet. Hit that like button. I'll see you guys tomorrow. Bye.